Skull, fellow wanderers. Ever wondered about the Viking Ragnar? The tales and myths of this legendary figure from the Viking Age. Today, we will be journeying through time with this epic Viking king. Ragnar Lothbrok is a legendary Norse hero and warrior who is a central figure in many Old Norse sagas and legends. It's important to note that while Ragnar Lothbrok is a well-known character in Norse mythology and Viking history, there is still much debate among historians and scholars about whether he was a real historical figure or a purely mythical one. The details of his life and exploits are often intertwined with myth and legend, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. According to the sagas and legends, Ragnar Lothbrok was a renowned Viking warrior and chieftain who lived during the Viking Age, which is generally considered to be from the late 8th century to the early 11th century. He is often portrayed as a fearless and cunning warrior who led raids and conquests in various parts of Europe, including England and France. Some of the most famous stories and legends associated with Ragnar Lothbrok include the Siege of Paris. Ragnar is often credited with leading a Viking siege of Paris in the 9th century. This event is depicted in various historical sources, including the tale of Ragnar's sons. Here is a clip from History Channel's Viking series, showing Nordic invasion in France.
They are coming. Tell the men not to waste any bolts, only when they are close.
Yes, Count.
Whatever happens, they must not get through the gates, they must not get into the city. Do you understand?
Yes, whatever we have to do to stop them will be done, I assure you.
The sons of Ragnar. Ragnar is said to have had several sons, including Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and others, who also became famous Viking leaders and warriors in their own right. The sagas describe their adventures and exploits. Here is another clip depicting Ragnar to his sons, asking them who wants to be king.
cannot blame you for that. No. So, well, boys, who's gonna do it then? Who's gonna kill me? And I don't mind. Go ahead. Please. What about you, Victor? You think you're a man now? I dare you. Put me out of my misery. And do it. Do it. Do it, do it. Do it! Look at these people! They no longer support me. Look! Why would they? I am your leader, and I just left. What kind of leader does that, huh? What kind of king abandons his people? What kind of father abandons his son? So who wants to be king? Oh, you know how this works! If you want to be king, you must kill me. Take it. No? You? No, what about you? No? No? Anyone? Who wants to be king?
Death of Ragnar. Ragnar's death is a subject of debate and legend. Some accounts suggest that he was captured and executed by King Ella of Northumbria in England, while others claim he died in battle. Another clip depicting Ragnar is one of many ways he had died, but on this clip shows the snake pit.
It gladdens me to know that Odin prepares for a feast. Soon I shall be drinking ale from curved horns. This hero that comes into Valhalla does not lament his death. I shall not enter Odin's hall with fear. There, I shall wait for my sons to join me. And when they do, I will bask in their tales of triumph. The Aesir will welcome me. My death comes without apology. And I welcome the Valkyries to summon me home!
Deliver me, O Lord, from mine enemies!
The death of Ragnar Lothbrok is a subject of legend and myth, and there are several different accounts of how he met his end. As I mentioned earlier, the historical accuracy of these accounts is uncertain, as Ragnar Lothbrok's existence itself is a matter of debate among scholars. Here are some of the most commonly cited versions of his death. Execution by King Ella, as we have previewed earlier. According to one of the most famous accounts, Ragnar Lothbrok was captured by King Ella of Northumbria, England. Legend has it that he was thrown into a pit of snakes, where he met his gruesome end. This story is portrayed in various Old Norse sagas, including the saga of the sons of Ragnar and the tale of Ragnar's sons. Death in battle. Some accounts suggest that Ragnar died in battle while raiding in England. The sagas often describe him as a fearless warrior, and it is possible that he met his end in combat. Alternate accounts. There are alternate versions of Ragnar's death that involve different circumstances, such as him being shipwrecked or succumbing to illness. These versions vary depending on the source and the region in which the legend is told. In some Norse sagas and legends, Ragnar Lothbrok is depicted as a legendary hero and warrior with a divine lineage, claiming to be a descendant of Odin, the chief god in Norse mythology. This connection to Odin is often used to enhance the mythical and heroic aspects of Ragnar's character. Here's a brief overview of how Ragnar's descent from Odin is portrayed in Norse sagas. The Saga of the Winglings. This is one of the earliest sources that mentions Ragnar Lothbrok's connection to Odin. According to the saga, Ragnar is said to be a descendant of the Swedish Yngling dynasty, which itself claims descent from Odin. In this version of the legend, Odin is presented as Ragnar's distant ancestor. The Saga of the Sons of Ragnar. The saga further develops the idea of Ragnar's divine heritage. It states that Ragnar's mother, Aslog, was the daughter of Sigurd, Fafnir's slayer, and Brynhild, a Valkyrie. Aslog is sometimes referred to as Kraka due to her prophetic abilities. This lineage is seen as evidence of Ragnar's connection to both legendary heroes and divine beings. The Gesta Danorum. This Latin chronicle by the Danish historian Saxo Grammaticus also mentions Ragnar's descent from Odin. Saxo's version of the legend emphasizes Ragnar's heroic qualities and portrays him as a warrior with a divine lineage. It's important to note that these sagas and chronicles were written centuries after the events they describe, and they often mix history with myth and legend. The inclusion of divine ancestry was a common literary device in medieval Norse literature to elevate the status of heroic figures like Ragnar Lothbrok. Whether or not there is any historical basis for these claims of descent from Odin remains a topic of debate among scholars. The connection to Odin serves to add a mythical dimension to Ragnar's character and reinforces his status as a legendary hero in Norse folklore. Oh, and one thing. Did you know? While Ragnar Lothbrok is primarily known in Norse sagas and legends as a legendary Viking warrior and hero, there are some accounts that describe him as a farmer before he became a famous warrior. These accounts often emphasize the idea of his transformation from a humble farmer into a great Viking leader. However, it's important to keep in mind that these narratives may be part of the legendary aspects of his character rather than verifiable historical facts. Also, the word Lothbrok on Ragnar Lothbrok means shaggy breeches. Shaggy breeches is one of the nicknames or epithets associated with the legendary Viking warrior and hero, Ragnar Lothbrok. In Old Norse sagas and legends, Viking warriors often had colorful nicknames or bynames that highlighted their physical characteristics, exploits, or other notable traits. These nicknames were an integral part of their identity in Viking society and storytelling. Shaggy breeches or shaggy pants, sometimes spelled harsh heather pants or hairy breeches, is thought to describe a distinctive aspect of Ragnar's appearance or clothing. While the exact meaning of this nickname is not entirely clear, it likely refers to Ragnar's rugged or unkempt appearance, possibly because he wore shaggy, rough clothing or armor. The epithet shaggy breeches is just one of several nicknames associated with Ragnar Lothbrok in different sagas and sources, highlighting his legendary status and the rich tapestry of Viking storytelling. And that's it. Did you enjoy this amazing journey with King Ragnar Lothbrok? If you do, click that like, share, and subscribe button now for more contents like this. Keep wondering.